Retail Federation. Our executive producer is Nancy Fargali. Our digital team includes Adam Twinett, Brock, Emily McCune, and Dylan Mietinen. Our engineers are Tessa Block and David Schreck. And in New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.
Good morning. This is meteorologist Russ Murley. Here's your WTJX local forecast. This is Friday, the 13th day of February. Showers will give way to sunshine today, middle to upper 80s this afternoon. Southeast winds at 5 to 15. We'll see a few clouds tonight. Overnight lows 73 to 77. Tomorrow should be a beautiful Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, middle to upper 80s. A few clouds tomorrow night, temperatures in the middle 70s. Sunshine, partly sunny at times Sunday, middle to upper 80s. Rip current risk will be diminishing over the next few days. Coming up, explore the dramatic story of Virgin Islands boxer Emil Griffith. That's tonight at 10 p.m. on WTJX-TV, Channel 12.
WTJX 93.1 Charlotte Amalia, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands.
The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
And good Friday morning, and welcome to the end of the week edition of Analyze This here on your NPR station in the U.S. Virgin Islands, WTJX FM 93.1. We're yours truly, Neville James. Beautiful day in paradise as we approach Fair Weekend, AgriFest 2026, taking place at the Shulterbrandt fairgrounds down there in the state. Lower Love on St. Croix. The staple that takes place a month after the Crucian Christmas fiesta. So, hope everybody goes out and support. We're going to be talking with the folks who run the fair in hour number 2. So you get all the details, costs, times, what to expect on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. I think we're going to reach out to the weather service for a quick update as to what to expect. Hopefully it's good weather throughout the weekend. Today's World Radio Day. Thank you, Terry T. Okay, today's World Radio Day. So, we're showing extra love for the medium. And hopefully, morning. And hopefully, we can, I think she sits there. I think you're over here. Yeah. And then, we got the weather service on the line. Good morning. Who am I speaking with? I guess not. Good morning. I guess not. Anyway, let's get right to it. We got guests here in the studio. Good morning. Why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Hold on a second. What's going on? I apologize for that, audience. Don't hold it against me.
He's here to record.
We're actually streaming.
Okay.
Okay, so you can get that off the stream.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Good morning again. We got the mics on. Good morning. Introduce yourself.
Morning. My name is Mireja Torres, but the community knows me as Jessie Jess or Blanco Dan. I've been doing comedy for 3.5 years. July will make 4 years that I've been doing this.
How do you spell your first name?
Mireja, M-I Reja.
Ireja.
Yes.
Mireja Torres.
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you. Good morning.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah. Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I am Esther, better known as Diva J from Island Rhythms TV and the owner of Diva Innovative Consulting.
So, Ms. Torres, what's going on this weekend?
I am having my very first meet and greet. It's an invite-only event, being that it's my first event of its kind, but I have a lot of people who are coming out tonight. I just wanted to do...
We're at you can't tell or?
Yes, we can share because we'd
Okay.
like to big up the place.
Okay.
Yes.
We want to share that it will be held at the Palms at Pelican Cove, an absolutely wonderful property and establishment. So yes, that's what we held this evening.
Okay. Tell me about yourself, Ms. Torres. How you get into the business?
Well, since I was younger, a lot of people told me that they think I would be great at comedy.
Pull the microphone a little closer to you. That's it. Okay, there you go.
When they say TikTok is dying out now, but back when it was booming in like 2019, I want to say, everyone told me, you are so funny, you need to make videos, because I would always make like my own little comedic videos and skits, but I never publicly shared it. It would always be with family and friends. And everyone was just addicted to TikTok. And I said, I refuse to fall into that trap. I see you all scrolling on TikTok for hours a day, just repeating all kinds of nonsense. I said, I'm not doing it. And then one day I heard a song that I really liked, and it just like inspired me to make a video because I could see different scenes in my head. So I made a video, and I was too nervous to share it myself, so I sent it to a bunch of my friends, and they posted it everywhere. And everyone was like, oh my God, I didn't know Mireja was so funny. It garnered a lot of views, but I can't tell you how many because I didn't post it. But my friends were like, people
They posted it on what?
They posted it on Facebook,
On Facebook.
and Snapchat on their stories. And my friend said, the people want more, the people want more, this is your time. So I just sat and thought about what it is I wanted to do, and that's how I came up with Blinko Dan.
Blinko dance, was it?
Yes, Blinko Dan.
Creative.
Blinko Dan, the Dan man.
Yes, the Haas man.
Tell me about Diva Innovative.
Diva Innovative have been in existence for over 25 years. We have a consulting company and now a talent agency that hosts actors, actresses, and singers. We also manage a plethora of different artists in the business, from reggae to reggaeton, and soca artists. We have a lot of different artists on our roster.
You signed Ms. Torres?
She is not signed to me yet. This is a test run.
Wow, that's awesome. This week there's been fallout from our perspective, good fallout with Bad Bunny doing his thing
for sure.
at the Super Bowl. What's your take on that?
I think it was awesome. I love the representation of culture. A lot of people don't understand, but from the opening scene, it was very obvious to the people who know what's going on that he was representing not only our culture and background. It was like a trip through time. You know, the cane fields, moving on to the development of the local businesses, the stores on the island, onto the issues that they face with the power grid. So I personally thought it was very powerful. It was a big statement, you know, everybody, well, not everybody, you know, some sticklers are complaining, oh, this is a American English speaking country. But I think it spoke volumes that he got so much support and so much views, and, you know, just gave people a way to look into our history a bit more and be a bit more open-minded about, you know, sharing different cultures and getting into different things.
You got roots in the Boricua?
Oh yeah, of course. My grandma is from Old San Juan. So.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about Old San Juan last month. They got the Sanse. That's every Martin Luther King Day weekend. They got big street party in Old San Juan. Over 1 million people. We were looking at it's a 4-day deal. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday before Martin Luther King, and we had some people from St. Croix who were down there, and we were fortunate to speak with them to let us know what it's like. And we're actually looking at doing that same type of thing in Strand Street down in Frederiksted. at some point. So maybe if we make that happen, then you could be performing down there.
Oh,
Like
yes,
that
that
stuff.
would be cool. Someone described it to me. They said it's like our Juve on steroids.
That's good. Talk about the relationship as with management and artists, because we hear the horror stories, the bad sides about that. But what about the good stories? What about those who are successful and the chemistry that is required for you and the artist so that you're on the same page of music every time?
Well, for me, the reason I'm trying to focus more here is because being in the industry that I am in, I don't get to see a lot of faces, a lot of original accents, right? So when you look at movies or when you look at production, you'll see a lot. I don't see a lot of people like myself, set builders or actors and directors that originally have a real Jamaican voice or a real Crucian voice. So it inspired me to actually be in this business. I think the relationship based with actors, actresses, performers is based on the personal relationship you build with your colleague. It shouldn't be based on a personal thing. So for me, I've never had an issue with any of that. I try to treat everybody that I work with or people that I work for as my family, so they become a part of my family. So there's the goal is to uplift them and to get them to the next level, to get them on the stage for the Grammy, for the Academy, to get them to where they need to be.
Tell me about your background that got you to this point where you're in the management business.
You got time?
Yep.
Well, I was born here in the Virgin Islands. My first actual on stage.
No, when it's Sabana, but that's going to be more specific.
I bang, yeah.
That's what I'm
Right,
talking
yeah.
about.
This building used to be called Foss.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Right
yeah. I used to
downstairs.
come by my copybook them from right, yeah.
Right downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Juanita Garden right down the school in Lena Christian Junior High, and then life took me to New York. But my first on stage was a contest called David Hamilton Jackson Actorial Contest for Bull and Bread.
Okay.
And I want to say thank you to people like Miss Mason and people, Bradley Christian. Those people inspired me to Ruby Rouse. You guys probably don't even know who that is. I don't know her name.
No, on this show, everybody knows who she is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, people like that inspired me. I come from a background of a dad who was really into entertainment and a mom also who loved public speaking. So it kind of catapulted me here, sent me into pageants, from pageants on stage to many different shows, and then catapulted me into Caribbean Connection, which it was a talk show that was awarded the #1 talk show in the Eastern United States, and led me to having my own television station, Island Rhythms TV, which is now publicly on Roku. So that's a little bit about me.
Caribbean Connection. Talk about that. That was radio or online?
That was actually a public. It's a public broadcasting station in New England.
Okay.
And we had our own show on that.
Okay. What brought you back home besides the beautiful weather and your roots?
What has brought me back home is I've been placed in a position where I have to recruit actors, actresses, entertainment for different movies and different things. I am directing my first docuseries, which is written by me. And it put me in a position where I had to audition people and get reads for different actors and actresses. And when I was getting the reads for different actors and actresses, I realized that all the people that were coming to me didn't have original accents. And if they did have an accent, it wasn't a real good code switch. It was a very Yankee accent. And so I decided that it's time that we have a talent agency where I can recruit and have my own people placed in front of people on movie sets. I also run Global Youth Film Festival. I'm one of the co-founders, which is a film festival geared to its children and young people who want to be in the industry, which also I've found out that only 3% of West Indian and Caribbean descendants are a part of the film industry. So my goal is to change that.
What about Mireja turned you on?
What I like about Mireja is that she is very funny, like even when she's not trying to be funny, but she's also a professional. She is about her work, and she wants to go places, and I'm inspired by that. That's what inspires me about her.
What about us that gives you confidence that you're on the right track?
We've actually been in communication. Has it been like a year already?
Yes.
Probably. I was thinking to myself at home back in Florida, I'm like, there's somebody out there who could help me and take me to the next level, but who is it? And as I was having that thought, she sent me a message. And we've been back and forth with a few different ideas. She actually gave me an opportunity to be on the Bahama Blast cruise, which is a cruise that you're co-founding, correct?
Right.
It was a huge success. Unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I couldn't make it. And I was very nervous about telling her that. But she treated me with such care. I love the way she treats me. Aside from the professional aspect, she sees me and treats me like, a human. And we call each other niece and auntie. We have a great relationship. And yes, so I'm very impressed by her work ethic. She has a lot of things going on. So, like she said, this is a trial run. She helped me set up this meet and greet. I came to her and said, hey, I want to do a meet and greet. And less than 24 hours later, she's like, all right, I got your venue. I got your stay booked. We're good to go. And that was awesome to me. I was really impressed. So I have full faith in Esther's. When we go back to the U.S., she can help me expand my horizons up there, since I live there and I'm mostly based in Florida at the time.
Well, it was awesome getting to meet you.
Thank you.
And congratulations and good luck with your career. Esther, what would if you didn't have this relationship with Mireja, what would be your biggest piece of advice getting into this market? Because it's not easy.
No, and especially for us as a people, it is not easy. So my biggest advice for you, or for anybody that wants to be in entertainment, if you can't be in entertainment if you don't have your contracts, your BMIs, your ASCAPs corrected, because that's how you get paid. If there's something that you love in entertainment, find a way to train yourself, but most importantly, make sure your paperwork is together.
So in other words, I's dotted, T's crossed.
Yes.
All that stuff. Right.
Correct.
Well, pop that microphone to them. I don't like people just sitting. I don't like people just sitting here and all that stuff.
It's the behind the cameraman.
There we go. That's what I figured. Yeah. So introduce yourself.
I'm Marlo, the executive producer and a co-owner of Island Rhythms TV and Leave Innovative Consulting. I'm more like the behind the scenes guy, so.
But behind the scenes are very important.
That's what they say.
That's part of the foundation.
Try to let them know that all the time, but no one seems to realize that.
Yeah. So you got on a Miami
yes.
Hurricanes t-shirt.
Just repping. Yes.
Well, that's where I graduated from. So
yeah. Okay. All right.
I got to give it its props.
Well, even though I'm wearing it, I'm not a Miami.
That's okay.
That's okay. I'm a Carolina guy.
Which Carolina?
I'm
UNC?
a powder blue. Yeah.
Chapel Hill?
Chapel Hill. Yeah.
That's where you from originally?
Well, I grew up in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Chapel Hill?
It's cool. No, outside. Started out in Lewisburg, north.
That's north. Okay.
North, yeah. And
heading towards Virginia.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And then right about then end up in Raleigh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Virgin Islands. I live in Raleigh there.
Yeah.
St. Augustine's. That's what the guy.
No, well, most of the Virgin Islands live up there came from.
No, I'm talking about the college, St.
Augustine's. Oh, that's downtown.
That's in Raleigh.
Yeah.
That's
downtown. Yep. So and then I actually played music at Shaw University down in that area.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a DJ.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what area are you talking?
Which one?
You said music. What area you talking?
Reggae.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a reggae show.
We know what reggae music.
Not much. Not much.
Who's the influence that you like?
Influence?
Yeah.
But I'm more of an old school type of guy. You know what I mean?
So you got Wailers and.
Yeah, man. From way back, yeah. And we do work. I do work with a lot of reggae artists.
You can tell them some of our clients. It's okay. Don't be modest.
So I travel, do a lot of traveling and filming and stuff like that with a lot of reggae artists. So
my name Jacob Miller.
No.
You
Well,
know-
Jacob Miller.
You
Yeah.
never hear about Killer Miller, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know Killer Miller, but yeah. So,
That's good.
so that's that's what I'm here for support, and plus we're doing some filming here this weekend as well.
Okay.
I'm taking the opportunity. Normally when we travel,
Yeah.
depending whatever business takes us there, we just utilize the other business as well, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
we're
man,
here
yeah.
now.
Hold
with
on.
the
We're
artists.
going to a break. Hold on a second. I don't want to run you out of the studio. We're going to a break. We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap up the conversation. And then we got all our guests coming. Okay, but I
That
don't want to
sounds
run
good.
out.
All right.
So we got me there, John, Esther, and
Marlo.
Be back right after this. And we're back here and analyze this, wrapping up our conversation. So we got some entertainment. Media, when is the event?
Tonight at 7 p.m.
Tonight, 7 p.m. at the Palms?
Yes.
Okay, good.
There'll also be karaoke tonight at the Palms. And then on Saturday, there is a Valentine's Day buffet, candlelight dinner. And you can come out and join us tonight and tomorrow night if you are interested.
Okay, good. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining me this morning. I want to wish you good luck with your career.
Thank you so much.
And esta local for the local, okay? Don't let me get to come look
That's
for
why
you.
I'm here. That's why I'm here. If you're interested in becoming an actor, you're interested in the film industry, you're interested in not just being in front of the camera, but would like to know what happens behind the camera as well, and you're a young child, get in touch with me. It's called Global Youth Film Festival, and we want to teach you how to become a part of that industry.
Marlo, you want to say something?
Yeah, just like to say, for anyone out there that's watching the Island Rhythms TV side of things, we're on Roku, we're on Prime TV, we're on everything, every platform. We're on the website www.islandrhythmstv.com, and for those that want, so you can go on the website actually now and sign up for a free account to watch the show on all the platforms, on Roku and everything like that. And all you have to do is just download the channel on Roku or on Fire Stick, and you can watch it. Most things are free on it, but there is also premium content behind the scenes with certain artists, or things like that. Certain shows that we have that are premium shows. When we go live from shows, we have Best of the Best, those type of shows. Then that's a premium charge for that. But for the most part, you can sign up, download it, and just watch it at home for free. It's the shows are 30 minutes. You get to watch yours truly, Diva J over there, and then we do, like I said, we have shows like we go to all over Europe, Rotterdam. Those type of shows. You see Taurus Riley a lot there. You see Tana. So those are some of the shows and content that you'll see on that.
Good luck with your career as well, man.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
It's so nice to meet you as well, all right?
Thank you so much for having
Okay,
us.
good. Without a doubt, and good luck with the career. Enjoy this. The fair weekend. It's a big weekend here on St. Croix, and I'm sure you'll be back.
Yeah, well, I've heard about this for years, and this is not the first time we've made attempt to come, so I'm really excited to check it out.
You're gonna be impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts tomorrow, runs through Monday, and it's like it's the outdoor party that we have after our cruiser and Christmas fiesta, where we had the village and West and all that stuff. So you're gonna enjoy that. Maybe I make sure to tell you about over.
We're here
Yes.
for AgFest is actually helping us get the content for some of the docuseries. So we are going to be at AgFest getting some footage as well and interviewing some of the locals that are there and vendors that are there as well.
Yeah, man, you're gonna get some good artists gonna be performing throughout the weekend as well. So take advantage of that. You might bump into the next superstar.
Yeah, that's
All right.
true. Yeah.
Facts.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Glad
Thanks
to
for
have you out
having
here.
us.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
That's Mireja Torres. What's the stage name?
Blinko Dan.
Blinko Dan. We done it. You have it done. You know.
No, it had to be a boy.
You want something with me? Blinko Dan, just teasing. The Blinko Dan, of course. We got Marlo. He is behind the scenes, make everything happen, and of course, Diva J, Esther, joining us as she's the manager and making sure people get opportunities. So that's a good thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
you.
having
Glad
us.
to have you here. So that's they're gonna be doing their thing tonight and tomorrow. All right, both the Palms,
Yeah, it's the Palms at Pelican.
both tomorrow and tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow,
Okay.
tonight is Blinko Dan and Miera's meet and greet, and then tomorrow is the buffet. If you're available tonight, come on down. We'd like to have you.
You got it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
You got it. That's Mireja Torres, Marlo, and Esther. The Blinko Dan is Mireja Torres, and she's doing her thing, like getting her career to the next level. So, after a heavy start, that's what it is, man. The weekend, you know what I'm saying? So like that. Well, back in the house. Good to see you. So we got Kahlil Caesar and Bethany Mclean making a return appearance here. No, that one over there. Okay, we're streaming, so you gotta go where the camera's gonna pick you up. So you gotta go all the way over to the end because that camera is you there. And Danny, he's good. Where he's at? Okay. So don't forget, like I said, AgFest 2026 tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Of course, we're hoping for weather that'll, Chamber of Commerce weather that'll make for an excellent weekend. Of course, it's also Juan and I found out it's a gubernatorial year. So I'm willing to bet you're going to see T-shirt down there. You're going to see for at least another 4 years. Everybody running for something. And that's just how the retail politics takes place in a gubernatorial year. So we'll see how that pans out. Good morning, Kahlil Caesar. What's going on?
Good morning. Everything good, man. Everything blessed.
Are you there? Still in the States? Still in Florida?
No. Atlanta.
Atlanta, I mean? Still in Atlanta?
Yep. Atlanta's the hub.
Here I got balling for whatever.
Shoot. we tried to dodge some of it. We went down to West Palm. We were working.
But we're down there too.
I know that we tried to run and we can't run,
You
man.
can run, but you can't hide, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Miss McLean, how you doing?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's life?
It's good. It's been a really good year for us. We've been excited.
Oh, you mean 2025 was a good year, or you're saying that the first 6 weeks of 2026 have been
Both.
good?
Both are true. We had a lot of things come together for us last year. This year is already kicking off to a great start, and
Well,
can't complain.
Well, last year after we left, the first major thing that happened, and I can officially introduce her. We got married.
Oh, so this is Mrs. Caesar.
So
That's why congratulations.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
What am I talking about? What take you so long, man?
Look, man, we moving and shaking.
No, I don't know. I'm the last person that should go there, so I just enjoy myself. So don't hold it against you. I mean, I just tease you. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff, it was what it was. Face painting still in effect?
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yes.
We'll talk about it.
That's majority of what we do, of course. And then I've got my Jaguar with me to do temporary body art here. So anything that looks like a temporary tattoo on your hands, arms, what have you, that'll be available at AgriFest as well. But yeah, the majority of what we do is face painting. We do a little body painting as well.
Yep.
This year,
What's
kind
the
of
difference? Tattoo, face painting.
face painting is done with products that you wash off at the end of the day.
Okay.
The temporary tattoo, what it does is it soaks into that top layer of your skin that's naturally kind of shedding a little bit all the time, and it stays for a week to 2 weeks depending on your skin and how much you scrub, but it doesn't go down as far as a permanent tattoo does. So it's in between the two as far as length of time you get to have it.
So you go to you go to classes and get certified and all that stuff, so you can know about the human anatomy and biology and all that stuff. Since you changing people's look.
Sometimes we actually are teaching this year for the second time at a convention in Max, called Max in St. Louis, and I will be taking a intensive pre-day class from a henna artist that I have admired for over a decade about how to perfect this part of my craft. And there are sometimes chemical and biological things you have to consider. The pH level of your skin affects how well this stains.
Correct.
And how you mix your paste together makes it come together right. So yeah, we constantly continuing education for sure.
Yeah, it's always skilling up. You always got to level up. Even on the face painting side, you'll run into different artists that have different techniques that you may want to incorporate into your own. Just take little bits and pieces, share, network. So it all comes together.
What do you suggest? Face painting or tattoos? Because like for example, people fall in love, and they put they put their partner name, and then they fall out of love. So what's the deal then? I mean,
I never suggest getting anyone's name tattooed on you that is not related to you. And even then, think about it. It's some kind of a weird jinx.
But people are human, though. You know what I'm saying?
They are,
You
and
fall
they
in
do it all
love.
the time.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be here with her or with him forever.
Yeah.
I love this man 10 toes down. I will not
she
get
still
his
ain't
name
put my
tattooed
name.
on me ever, because I want to keep him. I do not want to jinx it. Will never recommend that.
And of course, it's different for people. If it ended amicably, it's just a name that was a part of time. But if it did not end amicably, you got to spend that $2,000 to get that lasered off.
Wow.
Yep.
Or covered up. Or,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to put that on the record. You know what I'm saying? So that
Yes, from a professional artist, please don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Except if it's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family,
If you really like your kids, maybe. That's about it. Even that, I have a tattoo plan that I want to get for my children, but it's not going to be their names. It's going to be an image that represents them. I don't know. I have a weird thing about it.
So the industry itself, when you first got in, when was this? How long you been in the industry?
Oh, 21, almost 22 years now. It's over 25.
What's the biggest difference between 2000 and 2026?
Exposure, really. The business was still in its infancy, and even if you're thinking about makeup, professional makeup, beauty makeup that you see for television and movies and things like that, that's always been there. But face painting in terms of entertainment, like being able to go somewhere and put it on somebody, it was kind of like a small niche thing, and it's still a niche industry, but so many more people are doing it. And it's everywhere. You can go to a carnival, you can go to a state fair and get it done. You can go to museums or parks and they'll have people set up to do it. I started in the theme parks. So as it progressively got bigger and, more accessible, more people started doing it. And then it kind of enhanced, what you could do with it. People started making bigger pieces and it just spread everywhere.
And then the internet got it exposed to people's eyes, so you stopped seeing little hearts on the cheeks or smiley faces, and it became these beautiful masks, works of art kind of thing. Like the quality of the industry has risen exponentially since people are seeing these things. And then I'll show this for your viewing public. This product right here is something we call a one stroke, where it's got several colors of makeup together.
Hold on 1 second. Danny, that's a good spot where she's at? That's a good spot? Okay, good. Yeah.
So the way this works is you take a broader brush, you go across the entire surface at one time, and it gives you this already blended, beautiful ombre that allows you to make much more complex works of art in a shorter period of time. So these one strokes really revolutionized our industry about maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, those
They didn't exist when y'all got in this.
No, not at all. And it was just, through trial and error, when you're in the parks or wherever you're working, you're trying different things to achieve a more detailed look. So it's like, okay, let me blend these colors, and you're doing everything one color at a time. So later on, folks are like, well, why am I doing this one color at a time? Let me just
Especially when I've got a 3-minute window for this wiggly 5-year-old to get this accomplished, but I still want to wow them.
Exactly. You're in some places where we're working, you're dealing with lines that are 20 people deep for several hours, and it's like, we need speed. So
When you're in a theme park, if 100 children walking through there, what percentage want a face paint?
I would say ballpark. Out of 100 kids, we would probably end up painting anywhere between 25 and 30 of them.
Ain't bad.
Just off the jump. And like I said, with the theme parks, when I used to work, it's 8 hours a day, and our lines consistently stayed anywhere from 15 to 20 people long.
And
all day.
How long is that? Is the actual painting?
Painting itself is anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. Like I said, we emphasize speed, so we want to make sure that we get you in the chair, out of the chair, and back to enjoying the theme park. Now, sometimes, you may go over depending on, certain requests. People want something really special. So, we'll go ahead and spend a little bit more time, maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes or so. But for the most part, you just want to really get them in and out. And, you design faces that can easily be done. And,
That's an important word right there, is too, that when we make our menus, we design things for speed. We know what we can accomplish in a period of time. We know what's going to have the biggest impact, visually. And so what looks like it takes forever and ever, we've actually refined the process down to make it boom, 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 boom. Because you guys don't want to be in line all day, and we don't want you to have to be there the whole time.
But when you're talking face painting, I would think, it's just me, that qualitative supersedes quantitative.
It's a balance.
It is, and it's a very fine balance, and that's something that, per artist, you have to take the time and really work out the kinks of your game, so to speak, because there are so many different levels of artists. There's some of us who can paint really fast, but you'll get the phenomenal detail. And then there are others who, can paint fast, but again, they sacrifice the quality. It really depends on how you're learning and how you're applying what you learn into your craft.
Well, and each kid is so different. Some are able to sit for longer than others, and so you have to be like, okay, if I take a long time to get this accomplished, it's not actually going to turn out well, because they're going to get impatient and start moving towards the end of this, and I won't be able to do what I do like I do it. So,
exactly. But then
yeah. And then parents don't always want to stand in line forever either. So it says, okay, well, do I take a long time and create this masterpiece, or do I shorten it a bit, still come up with something beautiful, but that's reasonable for us to get accomplished in the time the kids have patience for it.
And then when you do get the kids that don't move, you take advantage of that. Full advantage, because it's a
and there'll be 2-year-olds that will just sit there and like they've gotten their makeup done every day of their life. They're all about it, and they want the whole thing.
Talk about the fair, the experience at the Ag Fair. What about it makes it stand out? I mean, Kahlil, you one away, right?
Oh,
notwithstanding this Yankee twang, you're coming to my show with this man. I want people to believe that you're born in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like myself. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, okay. So I gonna put it in a way that people can understand here. You check.
I'm just teasing, man. You're good. You're okay with me. I'm just having some fun. We good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you're originally from where?
I'm from Christiansted. I was born just up the street, Charles Howard Hospital.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we're glad you come back home. Are you based in Atlanta?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You been in Atlanta how long now?
6 yeorls, almost 7.
Prior to that, you were here?
I was in Florida.
Florida,
in Florida for 22 years.
Yeah? Where at?
Orlando.
Okay. Got a lot of Caribbean people living in Orlando now.
Yes, indeed.
And in particular, Puerto Ricans.
Yep.
A lot of them moved up there after Puerto Rico were dealing with their economic issues. But we got a lot of Virgin Islanders in Orlando too. A lot of them retire in Orlando.
Yes.
So that's good. We're talking with Mr. and Mrs. Kahlil Caesar, right? Formerly Bethany Mclean, right?
Right.
And they're gonna be down there at the Ag Fair tomorrow. They do face art. They're some of the best that there is, ever was, ever will be. And make sure to check them out if the kiddies, or even if you want to do a little something for the fair. We'll be back right after this. And we're back here. I analyze this. We got Kahlil Caesar and Bethany Caesar. Right? I can call you that? You good with that?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I know McLean will always be you know what I'm saying, but you're done with the homeboy now, you know what I'm saying? So
I only kept it for professional recognition in our group, but yes, I would be more than proud to be Mrs.
I'm just
Caesar,
enjoying
for
this,
sure.
man. Just have some fun with it. We're good.
Yeah.
So what is it about the Ag Fest, the Agri-Fest, that makes it different from other venues that you're at?
Wow.
I know for you it's a return, it's a prodigal son thing, because this is it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, definitely not.
But I want you to look at it from the standpoint. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Look at it from the standpoint, the work you do in theme parks and all that stuff. But you're there in the islands at a state fair. Talk a little bit from that perspective.
It's definitely a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere, and it's an atmosphere that really breeds enjoyment. You know, when you come down to the Ag Fest, it's a lot of color, it's a lot of music.
Give a marketing plug for AgriFest.
Oh man!
For those who are listening and they can't make it now, they're stuck in that cold weather.
Look,
tell them why they need to be in paradise.
The beauty and the warmth, the sights and the smells, the taste of the food of AgriFest is unmatched. I've been coming ever since I was a little kid, and you get the very best of not just St. Croix but the Virgin Islands when you come to AgriFest, because we're putting out our absolute best. You're getting the best of the food. You're seeing the best of what we do in terms of, taking care of our animals and breeding our culture. You're getting a look. This is like the perfect window to see all of the beauty and the power that we have here.
Bethany, originally from where?
A little north of Atlanta, so I've grown up in North Georgia my whole life.
Okay. Y'all got state fairs
Oh, yeah,
throughout
we
the
do.
state, right? Every county has a state fair, right? For the most part.
Yeah, we have the county fairs, and then we do have a couple that are what we consider state fair size. So I've been to a number of them. I feel like, for me as an outsider looking in,
Not no more.
no, and thank you. I don't want to be an outsider. I want to be in.
It's a season know, so you want to we know. So,
So when you go to these fairs, sometimes it just feels so commercial. There's all these things blaring at you from all over. You see a lot of things that are resold from different sites, and it doesn't feel like it's super, handmade or whatever. And it's almost, in comparison, AgriFest feels more like you came to a family reunion, where it's people know each other, and they act like they know each other even if they don't know each other. And you can tell that these items are made by people who care and love what they do, and the food is made by people who have been perfecting these recipes for however long, and the music is very deeply rooted in this culture, and the outfits are stunning. People put their time and effort into these beautiful, beautiful outfits, and it's a slower pace. It's more inviting. It just feels warm, literally and figuratively warm.
Mm-hmm. I got the agriculture folk coming out at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna let them know that.
Okay.
Got some folks here who have because based on what I'm hearing from both of you, it looks like authenticity is what you're talking about.
For
Yes,
sure.
very much so. Very much so.
You know what I'm saying that's a compliment.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I think that's one of the benefits of being in an island situation where you can't just ship everything in offhand. The stuff that is here is made by the people who are from here, or at least constructed from what they have at hand. So, somebody has got, some sweat equity in everything that's out there. And they're proud of it, as they should be.
Yeah, you coming on my show with these nice terms like sweat equity and that kind of thing, Miss Caesar. I'm going to incorporate.
I respect it.
I'm going to have to incorporate that terms like that in my vernacular, for the lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? I like that sweat equity. Young people who want to get into business, what would be your advice to them?
Preferably find a face painter in your area who is willing to take you under their wing. I cannot stress the importance of establishing your network and getting involved with other people, but also having someone who can hands-on help you find the resources that you need. There's a lot of things online that say they are one thing and they're not, and so people get sucked into these companies that are putting out products that aren't really regulated like they need to be. Just because it's labeled face paint doesn't mean it's actually okay for your skin.
Absolutely.
And then there's another substitute for one-on-one instruction, because one of the things when we teach is I like being able to walk around the class and actually look at how someone's holding their brush or how they're loading their makeup, because I can show you how to do this stroke all day long, but if you don't have your makeup loaded correctly and I can't watch you do that, then I don't know how to fix what your problem is. So having someone in person is the best possible thing. And then short of that, if you're able to go to conventions and travel, that's a great way to connect with other artists. But right now there's so many things available, and I have a pretty decent little TikTok going myself.
Yep.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, there's tutorials and all kinds of things, groups you can get involved with that will help grow your skills until you can make physical contact with other artists.
Now, Kahlil, if a parent comes up to you and asks you, what am I getting if my child wins me over and I allow them to face paint? Would you find that offensive? I would hope not, because you would want parents to at least be knowledgeable of what they're getting themselves into.
Absolutely. And you always want to promote being able to do it. One thing I stress with artists, and even before you get into the face painting aspect, when you're doing art, make sure that it comes from a very authentic place. Don't do it with the mindset that, this is going to be a quick cash grab or this is a money grab, because you're going to find yourself very stagnated. It's going to shrink your ability to kind of grow as an artist, because you're like, I'm going to do this. This is a quick buck. I don't have to improve my skill. This will get me just enough, and that's it. And you don't want to approach it from that way. definitely love what you do, enjoy what you do, and pursue that. Pursue the perfection of the craft, and everything else will follow after.
You were here in 25 or 24?
25.
25. How did that go?
It went great. We had a really good
Fantastic.
weekend.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were busy every single second of the thing, but
But you wouldn't want it that way if you had a stay.
no, it gave us a chance to wander around and look at some of the booths from time to time, and we definitely stayed busy enough to make it, something that we were profitable enough to come back for, which is great because then we get to visit family. We got to stay longer this year,
Absolutely.
because we knew that we would be able to do that based on how things went last year around, and.
What about the weather differentiation between here and
Man, are
Atlanta?
you kidding? I never want to leave. Never want to leave. It's 85 for a high, 75 for a low, or 83 or 73 every
we
single
left-
day. This is my ideal weather.
We left 40-degree weather to come up here. We're
I
like,
might have been born in the wrong place because I feel like I should be here.
And it's to come down here.
Exactly.
Not up. You went back up. Come down here. There's a lot of different questions, I don't want to miss. What happens when the fair is over, and you got to accept the fact that leaving paradise, heading back to the grind. Talk a little bit about that, because that people don't factor in. All they're thinking about is business, but they don't factor in the mental aspect of the work you do and the location that you're at.
It is, and with us now, as we've continued to grow the business, once we leave here, it's continuous, networking, doing more business with more people. We just finished our first season with the Atlanta Falcons. We were doing their tailgate events.
And inside the stadium.
Yes, indeed. And then now we're...
That's still a Mercedes-Benz?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, yep. And with that, we're going to be doing several events for the Atlanta United Soccer Club, football club.
That starts March.
Yep, that's coming up. Again, we're traveling to Max for the convention. So yeah, you have to mentally stay on point because again, as my wife stated, it's a balance. So you're balancing art and you're balancing business. So your mind has to constantly be open and ready for any curveballs that come through because they do happen. They do
So
happen.
since we are staying longer this time, I insisted on at least 3 beach days.
Yes.
Because if I go home the same shade that I came, I have failed.
That means that the trip wasn't worth it.
No, absolutely not. I've got to. So that's the sort of thing that we try to fold into what we do because we do travel a lot through the year. Both of us have always wanted to travel, so we've built our life that way. But there has to be some time to enjoy the place along with the work that we do. So we come and we allow room for time to be here, be present, and soak it all in. And then we go. It's bittersweet because we're ready to get back to what we do more on a full-time basis, but also it gives us a chance to miss it a little bit until we get back. And every time you come back, you appreciate it all over again, I think.
No, you mentioned the Atlanta Falcons and the tailgate. The tailgate industry is a multi-million-dollar industry.
I was shocked at how many people came out, and they go big. They've got flags, they've got tents, they've got
They want their
full
face
cookout
painted
situation.
and all that stuff
They do
for
it,
the games and all that.
Absolutely.
So these are fans coming to yo,
Yes.
hook me up. I want the thing here and all that stuff.
So we did developed a menu specifically related to Falcons themed designs. There were
And brands.
Red,
things that
what's it?
put
Red,
on.
black, and white.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had those menu choices out there for them to pick from, and then if we had time or somebody wanted something bigger, then we could absolutely go outside of that as long as it stayed on theme. But we wanted to make sure that everyone that left our area looked like they'd been to the Falcons game.
Absolutely. You even had members of the opposing team trying to ask for colors. I'm like, look, man, you can't come to McDonald's asking for Burger King. You can't have it your way.
Yeah. But not only that, just bad business. You got to deal with the Falcons. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. The corporate people are the ones writing our paycheck, and so they want to see their brand out there. So we had stencils cut to make sure the brand was exactly. The logo was perfect every time.
So you waiting for the schedule in April then, because you got to plan around that. They got 8 or 9 home games
Yeah,
right?
we're
They
gonna
don't play
have to
all the
look
games
at
at
it.
home. They play
Yeah.
half away,
No.
half at home.
Yep.
So no, I got to plan out your thing around that.
Oh, we've got 7 games for the Atlanta United, so those thankfully are on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And then August will start Falcons, and they've already mentioned some things about training camp stuff as well. So maybe some
What?
preseason
Oh,
activities.
man, I like
hopefully.
this, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
know, it's
man.
very
I'm
exciting.
happy for you with that.
Yeah, man.
Thank
I'm a
you.
sports junkie, so once you mentioned Falcons and Atlanta United, the conversation just went up a couple of decibel levels.
We
So.
feel like we've gone up a couple of levels this year.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, man, I like that. So talk to me, man. I open it. Just say something. I don't have to be questioning you all morning. I mean, say
Yeah,
something.
well,
Say
you know-
something, Kahlil.
Well,
Look outside. You can't see how
Oh,
lovely.
well, I mean,
isn't that inspirational? Just looking out here.
Oh,
Sheer
I was
beauty.
taking pictures all last night because we went to the jazz concert at the
museum.
the Caribbean Museum,
Okay.
Center of Arts.
Shout out to Uncle Eddie Russell, man, doing his thing.
Beautiful show.
Eddie's a genius.
Man,
Yeah.
it was
He's a genius.
fantastic.
Especially human
Fantastic.
being. He's a farmer too,
I know.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I had to tell some of the folks at the museum I brought some more art pieces down, so I have 2 pieces still hanging at the museum right now.
Okay.
I had about 4 of them sell previously, and I'm like, I got to bring some more work down. So I brought 4 more pieces. I got to make sure that they're ready to hang, and they'll be going up in the museum. And
Yeah,
then
so y'all stop by and check them out. Maybe pick one up.
I got the like I mentioned earlier. I got towards the agriculture people, agrifest people coming in. Any suggestions? Don't be afraid. You mentioned the authenticity. Make sure I pronounce that correctly because I got Kahlil Caesar here, with an English professor. All of a sudden, yanking up a storm, right? You talk about the event sells itself, the location and all that stuff, right? But is there anything that you would want for me to give as a suggestion to them, so that we could, if we don't necessarily want to take it up, we want to expand.
I think the only thing that I've heard people mention is that since the rides have not really been a part of the AgriFest the last couple of years, that there's opportunities for more children's activities to come in, whether that would be local businesses sponsoring, some kind of thing for the children to do, for them to be active. There's all that space in that field near where we are.
Where they used to have
plenty
the
of room
rides,
to do things.
Yeah. It's so
And
open.
the Children's Museum is already doing a great job of filling in that gap to a certain extent with the arts and crafts, but I think there's a lot of opportunity to help draw more families in and give those kids something to do as the parents are there enjoying the music and the food and everything. So
I would think that'd be the only thing because
That's-
everything else is already checked. You got the food check. You got all of the vendors selling their wares, whether it be clothes or special items. That's a check. You have a lot of the government agencies. They set up their booths, for awareness, things of that nature. You have the animals. So everything else is checked. Just a few more things for the kids to have activities going on.
and it doesn't have to be the rides again necessarily. There's a lot of different things you can do. So
Yeah.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk with you.
thank you.
Same indeed.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And keep on keeping on. Wish you success with the business, but not just with the business, but as business people. Because people see the end product, but there's a lot of work that gets to where you are when you're in presentation mode and offering what you're offering to the consumer. So I want to give you a shout out for that. Looking forward to seeing you again every year, not just next year.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And I wish you could stay longer, but business, business is business, you know what I'm saying? So,
Well, like I'll say this, and shout out to the people of the VI, man. For those of us who are away, make sure you come home and visit and share your talents, man. And that's something that I always pride myself on, even being an artist. Just share your talents with home because people love it.
Mr. and Mrs. Kahlil Caesar, to include Bethany, glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Happy
for having
AgriFest
us.
weekend.
Thank you.
We're glad to
got
be
it.
here.
We'll take a break and be back with the Ag folks. They're going to let us know all the details for this big weekend down at Estate Lower Love. Be back right after this.
The The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters. The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
And we're back here on Analyze This, and we've got the man of the hour, man of the weekend, actually. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big word.
And the lady of the weekend as well, who put the blood, sweat, and tears into making the State Fair weekend what it is. Commissioner Louis Kahlil Peterson from out of the Rock. Morning, man. How you doing, man?
Morning, Senator. How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right. Glad to be here.
You could call me Neville.
All right,
Neville, in this setting. Young lady, introduce yourself, man.
Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be here.
Pull the microphone up and get comfortable. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good. But good morning, Sarah Dahl Smith. I'm here as the Director of Youth Activities. And I was just listening to your guest.
Say your name in full because they can't hear you.
Sarah Dahl Smith, Director
go.
of Youth Activities.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
you were listening to the previous guest?
Yes, and they were talking about added youth activities. So I guess it's a good opportunity to talk about some of the added things that we're doing. So
yeah, I didn't want them to just come here and promote what they do. I wanted them to actually give some input, some insight into how we can make how we could broaden the foundation for the fair. We don't need to take it to any higher levels because sometimes when you keep shooting for stars, you tend to forget how you got there or where you were. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that the history of the AgriFest, how many years now? 50 what?
54.
54 speaks for itself.
It does.
You check what I'm saying?
It does.
And so we've mastered it. So now we just want to maintain the mastery, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
It does. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Quality,
yeah, because
not diluted.
Yes. And I asked them, because they're in their business, and I said, I would hope that qualitative is what we're focusing on, even though quantitative is way nice from a volume standpoint. You don't want to dilute, like you said. We want the soup to lose its It's taste because we solving everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Well said, and well analyzed.
Okay, there we go. That's what we do. So aside from that, how you doing, man? How's everything, man?
I am doing well. I am here in 2 capacities, making sure that everyone is aware of that. Commissioner, yes, but also as president of the board of directors. And I say that to say that it's a privilege for me to work with such a great team at the Department of Agriculture, as well as to work with a great set of members of the board of directors of the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair.
There we go. Ms. Smith?
Yeah.
How are you? How's everything?
Good. Busy. I'm glad and blessed to be here this year. I wasn't here last year based on health reasons, but glad to be back. Having to be reminded a little bit of just how much work it is. So yes, there's blood, sweat, and tears that does go in, but you know it's a rewarding job. I will say that, and I think when I'm watching, and Dr. Peterson, I'll mention this to you too. A couple of comments that I heard as school booths are setting up or schools are getting their booths ready. And one teacher who's been with us for quite some time, she said, Sarah, she said, we're back. This is really amazing. So the Educational Exhibit Pavilion is rife with a ton of information and just booths that I think are going to have an impact on how kids are involved. Because if we're going to do anything and we're going to perfect anything, we really have to hone in on getting our young people involved, motivated, connected, engaged in agriculture as a very viable pursuit. Yeah.
The discussion.
We'll get into that necessary conversation throughout the hour. Yeah. I got somebody in the line.
Oh, sure.
That's a part of the conversation, or that's a caller. Okay, caller suggestion. Okay, we're gonna get to the caller in a little bit. Let me let Commissioner
I was
Peterson
saying our
piggyback
current
on that.
conversation is simply reminding me of the theme for this year.
Yep.
Agriculture and technology.
Pull the
and
microphone closer to you so you can get it.
Agriculture and technology, an ideal mix in 2026. That's what reminds me of.
Yes.
And the conversation that took place among the board members to arrive at this theme had to do with what Sarah just said and what you said. Bringing the young people on board when it comes to perpetuating, continuing our agricultural sector and our cultural sector. And we believe one of the best ways to do so is through technology, that kind of impact. So here we are discussing, and that's what the fair is going to be about this year.
Okay, good. My audience can't wait. So let me get to the line before, because I would prefer to. We're going to get to the details of start times and all that stuff, opening the gate, what have you. Carla, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Senator James, Mr. Grant here.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Peterson,
Good morning.
The other guest. I didn't get her name as I tuned into the stream.
Sarah Smith.
Excuse me?
Miss Smith.
Miss Smith.
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Smith, and good morning to the listening audience. Dr. Peterson, my suggestion, and it's just my personal suggestion, as I've looked over the years throughout the Virgin Islands, and every mango season, sometimes because we are in the tropics, sometimes we get 2 yields a year. And most of those mangoes just go wasted on the ground. I just looked at a video where the same thing was occurring in Burkina Faso over in the Sahel, which we know Abraham Traore has taken over and started inside our cultivation. So my thing is, with the fact that we have just about in every yard in the Virgin Islands mature mango trees that's bearing, and a lot of time, like I said, the mangoes just go to rot on the ground. Is it a possibility that the Department of Agriculture can take this as a fact that we have a mango grove, basically, and we could have the equipment like bucket trucks and pickers and go to these homes and say, well, listen, we will harvest your mangoes. You could take what you need for your personal consumption, and we will purchase the rest of them. So it's not like we have to go and grow a grove of mango, take it from the seed to the reach maturity before it starts bearing. We already have mangoes that just, like I said, knocking dogs. Is that something that we could start as some kind of cottage industry? We have the mango melee. We have the agriculture fair coming this weekend on St. Croix. We have the Bordeaux fair. But in light of what's happening geopolitically, how can we at least be able to be self-sustainable when it comes to agriculture? And I just want to add the other thing. And I think I had a talk with you on another program, and you was also a graduate of George Washington Elementary School, which then became Evelyn Marcelli. Well, I remember in third grade in 71 when we had our science and we would have a geranium, we would plant a seed and watch it germinate. How do we get the young children energized and engaged back into agriculture? As I was listening to you with technology, which is where the young people are right now. Because if we look at the demographics, when it comes to agriculture and farming divorce, it's more the older generation. So I don't know how do we get it back in the curriculum, get it back to the young people, and that's what I have to say. And I'm going to hang up and continue listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grant.
I appreciate your call, Mr. Grant. And based on your being at George Washington School in 71, I guess we were there at the same time. Had to be there at the same time. But thanks for your questions. Excellent questions. And I have two responses. First of all, with respect to the mango question you asked, what I'm hearing from you is that we need to get together and develop a value-added processing facility, really. Mm-hmm. And that's been a conversation for many years. The good news is that not only has it been a conversation, there has been movement in that direction. The lead partner among all the partners is the Economic Development Authority. They have actually, a few years ago, conducted surveys among farmers to receive input. And farmers, by far, agreed that we need to have one. Not only one, they felt that we need to have one in both districts. Based on that outcome of the survey, EDA has been seeking funding to develop a processing plant. One is in Thomas, one is in Croix. They just got funding for one. I've been in conversation with Ms. Machina Ken, and they're going to find the funds for the second.
But didn't Myron Jackson move legislation when your partner, Mr. Robles, right? He was the commissioner in the MAP administration, right?
He was, yes.
Yeah, we had passed legislation for fruit processing plants and all that stuff. So that's on the books, That's actually a mandate. So you're saying now that we're actually making strides?
We are. I'm not sure the mandate came along with funding.
Mm-hmm.
So the issue has always been funding. We've gone as far as identifying the locations. As a matter of fact, coincidentally, the location on St. Thomas is the Evelyn Marcelli School.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's awesome.
That's correct. So EDA, like I said, they have been awarded a grant, and they are going to support, they have the plans already to construct at least one and seek funds for the second one. So that's something that's good, something that's taken place. With respect to the youth in agriculture,
mm-hmm.
the best response I could have for that is that we have on the books an educational program, K through 12, on the books for youth in agriculture. But what needs to happen now is the implementation. One of the best tools for that has been for the past many decades, the FFA, which I'm sure you're familiar with,
mm-hmm.
the Farmers of America.
Yeah.
That was one of the best tools for making that happen. That went defunct for a few years, but it's on the rise again. And I think that, among other efforts, is going to bring agriculture back in the schools with the youth.
The man still got a blue jacket on, sir?
They still have a blue jacket. Yeah. That's the one of the
Pastor Eddie, I forgot his last name.
Williams.
Eddie Williams.
Eddie Williams was a big part of that.
And who was the lead in St. Thomas when you were at Shulterbrandt High School? Who?
We had Miss Zini over there.
Okay.
I don't know.
We try to recognize our elders who provide guidance.
I have to look for a name on my phone in a few minutes. But we had Mr. Former Assistant Commissioner Mr. Elvet Elliott
mm-hmm.
taking the lead at Shulterbrandt High School.
Yeah, what about Eudora
And at Eudora County was Mr. Kirk Lewis taking the lead.
Okay.
FFA was big,
popular,
and doing big things.
Yeah,
like
man.
what they call
That blue jacket, when you see that blue jacket, you know that's an agriculture student, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So as a part of the Farm and Food Council, which
mm-hmm.
drives the agricultural plan, the Department of Education is taking the lead on that, and strides have been made, whereby, again, like I said, FFA is, again, being developed and on the rise in the USVI.
That's good. Ms. Smith, you're responsible for youth activities, and we're trying to do whatever we can to occupy the minds of our young people. And I believe we're at the tipping point where agriculture is concerned. We're consuming way too much imported food, when we have some of the primest, for the lack of a better term, the best farmland there is particularly here on St. Croix. And I want to give props to your boys over there in Bordeaux. Yeah, that organic farming that they've mastered over there. I mean, when are we going to take the what's the right word? Genuine strides in addressing reduction of importing what we consume? How can we do that? Give me some advice.
It really starts with an authentic involvement for young people, and what that means is that they've got to get their hands on. They've got to be involved in from the start.
But should we get into them? Should we get into the mandating of our young people, being forced to at least take an agriculture class or something so they can understand what's going on? I think it's gotten to that point. Me personally. I know the curriculum is what it is. I'm not in the curriculum business. But, I mean, what we're dealing with here, and it's so much healthier, you know what I'm saying, and cost efficient.
So a couple of things, and I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. I'm not sure mandating is always a good thing. I know that in ninth grade, for example, they used to have the exploratory vocational programs.
Correct.
And what you would hear all the time is that the kids who seemingly, and I'm going to say this very carefully, because seemingly who had maybe behavioral problems or learning disabilities or these kinds of things were the ones that ultimately ended up in agriculture because that was the only thing that they felt that they could perform at. And I want to be very careful how I'm saying that, because agriculture is absolutely not that. Is there room for that person there? Absolutely. But agriculture is so highly technical, highly scientific, now, and I think that's where we really need to focus on with the young people is how do we grab them, how do we hook them with that application, that opportunity, and then come back and say, hey, all of this ties in, because the one thing that I'm keenly aware of, and I think any of us who are intrinsically involved in agriculture understand that agriculture is pervasive across so many disciplines. Health is primary. I mean, we should be working with people to grow their own food because of the tremendous nutritional benefit of doing that. Not to mention how it impacts your pocketbook too. But I had a conversation with somebody just the other day again too, where we were talking about the fact that, in the States you have corporate and big farming, right? We don't have that here. We don't want it here necessarily. What we have is niche farming, and we have opportunities across the spectrum in terms of what we can grow. You just talked about the whole idea of value-added processing for mangoes. Mangoes are a dime a dozen. Like, you're right. They're all over the place. But there's an opportunity around every corner in agriculture. I mean, you can grow so many things, and I'll share the story that I recall about cucumber production. And this is where we have to be careful. I remember when the first cucumber stand came out, and I think it was one of the Schusters that were selling cucumbers, and before too long, everybody was growing cucumbers. So what did you have? You had a glut on the market, and farmers complaining that they couldn't even sell them. Well, and then that presented a value-added opportunity, but there's other things that can grow. And is the Virgin Islands always the ideal place to grow things? Not necessarily. We have challenges. But again, it's that science that goes into that. I might share, Dr. Peterson, you're not aware of this yet, but we have been talking with Cindy Meadows at the department, and Joanne Lewis, who is the director for science and STEM education on St. Croix, is to actually develop a track or a segment of their science fairs that focus specifically on agriculture. But not just on agriculture projects. We really want to talk with the farmers, engage with the farmers. Where are the challenges? What do they need? And then now place the kids in an opportunity to actually explore that, figure out how they could, and again, you do your little science fair project around that. But I think there can be some real revealing kinds of things there from a scientific approach. So,
Kahlil, dovetailing on what Ms. Smith just mentioned. Do we need I don't want to say summit, but at least some type of conferencing where we determine which crop farmers are going to harvest, so that the glut potential or experience that we had with the cucumbers don't happen. In other words, we shouldn't want for farmers to be harvesting something that they know ain't gonna sell at the volumes that it would sell at because other farmers doing it. It's a business thing we need to look at now. You do this, I do that, somebody do something different. Everybody got a certain market that they're cutting out.
What we're speaking about is really farmers working together, collectively and cooperatively. Our approach in the territory and elsewhere, not just here, has been of the paradigm of teaching individual farmers how to function. We need to change the paradigm, in my opinion, and teach farmers how to work collectively.
And
how to
embrace
schedule,
the business. Embrace the business aspect.
Yes, embrace the business aspect, how to schedule their crops so that they have a little continuation one after the next.
Because the 70s and the 80s and the 90s were the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s.
That's correct.
We're there in a new millennium now. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go to a break. I don't want you to start to answer that question. Because we want everybody to make money, right? So it's important that we focus. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the details for the AgriFest right after this. We got Kahlil Peterson and Sarah Smith here in the studio. Be back right after this. And we're back here to analyze this. The 2026 AgriFest is upon us. We got the leadership in the form of Kahlil Peterson and Sarah Smith here joining us. Good morning to you, distinguished Virgin Islanders, by the way. Glad to have both of you here. All right. Kahlil. I like that name. Yeah. I like to refer to as Kahlil. Right. And another Kahlil. He's a the judge.
Of course.
His brother.
Andrews.
Judge Andrews' brother. Right? Yeah. Yes. So I like that.
I know you want to go into the fair.
Yeah.
But I'll finish up my last.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Because you mentioned the 80s, 90s. You know, the issues we're dealing with right now are not new issues at all. And because we're on the same page, Neville, we have a project that we got funded for that's going to begin to unfold in the next month or two, right? And here's what we're going to be doing. Identifying farmers to be a part of a collective or cooperative effort. We're going to work with them to schedule their production in such a way that we avoid the same glut that Sarah just mentioned. We're going to identify the markets that we're going to be addressing to receive the products and the products we all agree to produce. We're going to get support through the Federation of Southern Cooperatives who are in town today to be at the fair with us.
That's good.
Who will do the training for us. This is a thing that they have been doing for years. The Federation of Southern Cooperatives is more than 50 years old, successfully so. So we are talking to a group of trainers who know exactly what they're doing to address what you just mentioned.
How do we give props to CJ Farm for what they did last year, that week long, in October, I think it was, or September, thereabouts. You and I sat on a panel, right?
Yes.
And we took the heat, you know what I'm saying? But we can handle it. We got over it. But CJ means well, you know.
Always.
So I just wanted to give a shout out for them because they understand the business aspect. So you said agriculture and technology.
An ideal mix in 2026. That's correct.
Right? That's what we were looking at in 2006 when we passed the Sustainable Agriculture Industry Act.
Yes.
Got that money and all that stuff. So we'll get to that. Tomorrow morning, what's the deal? Gates open one number.
At 9 a.m. Gates officially open at 9 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Okay.
And the gate...
That's every day?
Every single day.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Cost
really friendly. $8 for adults, $6 for seniors, and $5 for children 12 and under.
Okay.
Really reasonable.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The actual ceremony start at when? 10?
Official ceremony starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday tomorrow.
And hoping to end when it ends, right?
Hoping to end when it ends. We try every year.
Having been a part of that, so we ain't saying 10 till this and 10 till whatever. 10 till whenever it ends, right?
Yes.
And we always have a special seating area for our seniors in the front, right?
Yes, we do.
Look out for them.
Yes, we do.
And all that. Music, entertainment throughout the weekend?
Always. I'll look for that in a few seconds. But all weekend, every day. And it's all type of music. So no matter what your preference is, what your flavor is, food for you, music for you.
Okay, good. Now the food fair aspect with our what's the right? I don't want to just say it. So some of the greatest cooks. They got term we could use, a fancy, sophisticated term. Our culinary geniuses. How about that? Right?
Good one.
Up in the big barn, right?
That's right.
Infrastructurally up there good?
Up there's fine.
Yeah.
Ready for you.
We got the benches. We got the benches out there under the trees.
Benches under the trees. You can dine and wine
in the breeze
under the trees.
Yeah, and we've been having some breezy weather for the last. We talked with the weather service and they said we're looking at some rain tonight. So I was saying I hope the rain is a passing shower, so that when tomorrow come, we could have that Chamber of Commerce weekend beginning tomorrow into Sunday and Monday. Sunday is always the biggest day in terms of attendance, right?
Yes. Sunday afternoon.
Yes. Right? Yes. People like peas down there, right? So that's good. Now, in 1974, when I was 10 years old, so I could do the math.
We're not dating you yet.
You could do the you could do the math, like they say, the Yankee them they say the math, right? I bought an avocado tree, and I brought it home. And my mom, I wish I was as into development in my teenage, adolescent, and elderly years as I was when I was a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you're promiscuous, you want to do things, right? And that tree's still bearing up till now, my son.
Wow, that's a good feeling.
Right? So I want to ask about avocados.
Yes.
Right? Because it is arguably the best tasting. Not because the tree is in front of my house, but when you cut it, right, it just, you can put it with anything, right? It used to bear. We used to know when it was going to bear. Now it bearing when it want. Explain that as an agricultural scientist. What happened? That used to be a guaranteed summertime deal. Now I seen avocado bear year round. How would I walk in to explain that phenomenon for me, please?
There can be so many reasons, Neville. You know, you go to a doctor's office, you ask for history.
Yeah.
To analyze the problem.
Yeah.
And so your tree has a history too.
Yeah.
It could be a case of your trees just not being fertilized and the nutrients in the soil being depleted. A possible reason.
Okay, yes.
If you never fertilize, that means it keeps taking but not giving. A possible reason. I don't know if the tree has a history of pest issues. You haven't seen it.
No.
Other issues as well. We know that some trees, when they bear really profusely, they take a rest sometimes just to regenerate their energy and produce again. I'm not sure how many years yours has not been in production, but it would take
religiously every year it'll be.
Except for 1 or 2 years.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we were looking at the tree this year, right? Sarah, you gonna like this, right? And June come and we ain't see nothing. July come and we ain't seeing nothing. And then one man, and we look outside and they got all these avocado here at the tree. We want everything happen overnight. Of course, it was going on all along, and we weren't really paying it with that detail.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I am just amazed, and the shape of the avocado them changing. I don't know, why. You know what I'm saying? The pears now are much more longer than they used to be. You know, remember when we were small, we used to look at a particular
the
site.
bottleneck one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know if this adds more to climate change. I don't know if this is a part of what we're dealing with and all that. You know what I'm saying?
The climate change has an impact as well on the performance of trees. It does. To varying degrees, it's very hard to predict. But climate change does impact the seasonality of trees when they go into the...
Man, I like that word, man. Seasonality, man. So
it does put up... Yes. Yeah, man. So it can impact.
It's been a good week with terms. You know what I'm saying? Because I had Tina Henley. Fritz Henley, the great artist over the years.
I listened to your show.
Yeah, they were on, and she was talking about modality, and then the previous guests, they were talking about sweat equity. What you're putting into it. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. We do that. I analyze this. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. So the seasonality aspect, I like that. Before we continue with the fear. The Border Fair went well. The Rastafari Fair
extremely well.
Okay,
extremely well. I was there each day, and it went extremely well. All our fairs have their own profiles.
Yeah,
that's a very unique profile in Bordeaux.
Yeah, but I wonder what is a cozy type of thing compared to the state fair that exists here on St. Croix. Now, previous guests talk about some of the stuff that we did for the young people with the rides and all that stuff. Now there's a commercialization aspect with everything you do. I mean, even agriculture, you can't ignore it. It is what it is. But of course, authenticity is what we're focusing on. What are we doing so that the fair pays for itself and actually sees a little profit? How can we make that? Is that the case, right? Has that been the case the last couple of years? Because we've been struggling here, because people's resources and disposable income just aren't what they used to be.
We have been struggling.
Yeah,
we have been. Honestly, we have been struggling. We're trying to be as cost efficient as we can every single year. This year, for example, we had a huge expense. We purchased a brand new canopy. So when you come to the fair, the main stage tent, that's a brand new canopy for the first time in many years with our logo on it. So from the air you can see AgriFest.
You can see it well from the land too. It's there. Yeah, that's very evident. But those come with a price tag.
Yes.
So it's, and I think there is a misconception out there somehow is that the fair is a moneymaker. You see all those people coming in but what you don't realize is the tremendous expense to put it on that goes out.
That's right. Is this still a tourism, UVI, agriculture joint sponsorship thing?
Very much
leadership?
so. Very much so.
Lottery is big this year.
Lottery, okay.
Lotteries, we're gonna have, before we leave, we have to mention that.
Yeah.
Sponsors, but lottery is coming big for us.
That's the sponsorship department.
That's
what we don't call it, lottery.
Sponsorship department. Okay.
They sponsor everything. We gotta give them props.
They deserve the props.
Williams, they support everything. So I'm not surprised.
Before we leave, we're gonna be saying all of that. But to respond to your tourism question, we have ships coming in. I forgot the schedule.
I think it's Saturday and Monday. I think.
Okay, that's
both
good.
Days.
Yeah. Well, we're pushing for a floating hotel to be here as a hotel rooms throughout the week. We were looking at that 20 years ago.
That's a good idea to pursue.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We tried everything, and people just put up obstacles because remember, at the time the refinery was open.
Right.
And they had a turnaround. This is 2005. So they're bringing in all these technocrats to come in and clean that's what turnaround was at the refinery. They're cleaning all the infrastructure and all that stuff. They took up all the hotel rooms, so we had no rooms. So
we still don't have any.
It's still the case.
That's what I'm saying. So that year, 2005, the Super Bowl, the February deal, a week before or whatever it was, or 2 weeks before, happened to be in Jacksonville. Jacksonville didn't have the rooms, so they brought 4 cruise ships. and Jacksonville is a port city, and they just put them there, hotel rooms, voila,
Innovative,
overnight.
creative.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's something we could.
Yeah. So I said, yo, we could
have
get
our
one,
friend
we could
now,
get one of the
Jennifer.
smaller cruise ships, 500-600 cabins. Tell them come in, and because sometimes they're decommissioned ships, right? Park it up at Annie Remsen Pier, and then everybody benefits because they're gonna need taxiing up there. So we try to make it work, and they still,
I would support that.
They still, they don't. And so they were. So the counter argument was, oh, Neville thinks it's as easy as it is. No. We've had a template. If the Super Bowl, which is the biggest one game affair that you could have, at least in the Western Hemisphere, using cruise ships as floating hotels, we could do it on a smaller scale.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? So that was something. So if I want to, reach out to a senator or talk to Governor Bryan, if they could do some appropriation of money, and they could look at one of those companies and they could park that ship there on Sunday, right?
The day that nobody else is coming in.
No. The Sunday before.
Oh, there you
the
go.
fair.
Yep.
And like stay there for the whole week. You check what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just a thought.
What's a given, and it happens every single year, is that we have people calling in from outside, asking for hotel rooms because they can't find them, and
Rental
for car
vehicles.
rentals.
And
Every year.
Yeah, man.
And I think the car rental business is probably even worse than, in other words, in terms of being booked solid, because people are constantly.
It is. I mean, and not only that, we're fortunate that the Annie Remsen Pier is actually a beach. You know what I'm saying? It's a beach dock. You know what I'm saying? So they could spend a day. They could walk off the ship on like a Tuesday or the Wednesday. They get here. They fly in, right? They fly in and then they go down to the ship. You know what I mean? You're down in the cabin. You're in a cabin there, and you could go to the beach and all that stuff. So, and that's what I'm thinking about. At the time, I was a chair of the Economic Development Committee, so I had to, find ways to let my constituents know that we're trying to work and make things happen. Now, let's talk about feeding ourselves again. The data says 90%, over 90%. Is that still the case?
Well over 90%.
It is. It is the case.
It is the case.
Still is the case.
When do we transition that? Let's look at a reasonable target. When can we get that down to 75%? Which I think is a reasonable target.
I think it's reasonable as well.
It's not going to be overnight.
It cannot be overnight, and I think every time we attempt to think of it as an overnight possibility, it's
not realistic.
It's discouraging.
Yeah.
Okay. So my approach, Neville, is let's target 5%. Let's be incremental about it.
Yes.
Let's target a 5% increase. We achieve that success, and then we move to 10%.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And that is the approach we're actually using with the project I mentioned earlier. We usually say we can't be consistent, or farmers can't be consistent about providing to a particular market. Well, for the purpose of this project, we're going to redefine consistency. As opposed to all year long, which is daunting on the mind, consistency for us for the project's purpose is going to be 3-4 months. Once we target that, we know to tweak and move to 5-6 months. That's the approach that we are thinking about, that we are taking to be incremental about this increase. We can't expect the thing is going to happen overnight. And some of us, too many of us, in conversations I've had, is because people feel that we can't sustain ourselves 100%, we should do nothing at all. That is not the message. That should not be the approach.
No, it shouldn't be.
And I think from an economic standpoint too, and I don't know whether it was Nate was working along with EDA or somebody, but he was saying that even just a 1% increase in the amount of food that we produce on our own has an exponential increase in the revenues that stay here.
That's what I'm talking about.
So in other words, it doesn't, 75%, when you said 75%, I'm saying, ooh,
I'd say like we're in 2026, like if we can get down to 75% by 2035, somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying?
And that really takes some very diligent planning.
2.5% a year or whatever the number might be, But more importantly though, it's just healthier.
Absolutely.
Kahlil and Sarah. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? We don't know. I mean, when you're provisioning food and all that stuff, they're out there in the elements. You know what I'm saying? There's something about it, local here, going to a supermarket or one of our, what we do on Saturdays, the farmers market. It's just better.
Speaking
and
about
more cost efficient,
more cost efficient and self-encouraging. You know, speaking about analyzing this, you know, we 2 months ago in December, as a Department of Agriculture, we purchased, and we actually purchased some locally, fruit trees. Did you know about that? Or fruit distribution program?
No.
We distributed 2,500 fruit trees.
Wow.
How did I
between
miss
St.
that?
Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John at no cost to the community.
Wow.
The point I'm making is that if we consider only the avocado trees, because there were many other trees, if we consider only the avocado trees, Neville, and we look at the commercial spacing of avocado trees, we are literally saying that we have given out the equivalent of 5 acres of avocado trees.
Wow.
Think about the impact of that.
Yeah, man.
Production-wise, economy-wise.
Great
Think about the impact of that.
When the conversation great, the time to fly. I can't believe we done a break already. Last break. So when we come back, I'm going to yield to Ayo. Let the public know how we're doing agriculture and what happens between on Tuesday, and all the way to next week, to next year, Friday, because agriculture is a year-round, everyday deal. It ain't just a 3-day master display over at the Rudolph Shulterbrandt Fairgrounds in Lower Love. Be back right after this. And we're back here and analyze this, and we're on the precipice, right, of the biggest weekend in the Virgin Islands, according to Governor Turnbull, from 20 years ago, when he said, "This is the Virgin Islands State Fair." You know how they pronounce it in St. Thomas and St. John, right? Fair. And St. Croix, it's a hard R on St. Croix, the State Fair. Right? We said the Virgin Islands State Fair, and all that stuff. So we good. Kahlil and Sarah, good morning once again to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Nothing pains me more than driving east on Center Line Road. You get to Paradise Corner, and then you see the farmers with a little boot them and thing there. And they sit in there. We have a caller? Okay, I'll get to the caller a little bit. And we sit in there, and they're waiting for somebody to pull up to buy something from them. And I brought this up last year. We got a farmer by the name of Nathaniel Williams. And he came into the show, and because he heard me, I saw him. He was selling his produce there by Pueblo. And I said, we got to do something about marketing so that the farmer them ain't sitting by their shed no more and the different display, that they're out on the road dropping off to people who are wanting what they are harvesting. That's how I want to see farming now. And I know that the routine and the structure is that, okay, I grow, I got them here, come check me. But I would prefer that they leave a telephone number with somebody and somebody could call them and say, I need X amount of this day because I got thing I got to do with it. I got to cook or I got to, whatever I have to do. What's your take on that?
Earlier we spoke about farming as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thinking is that those products, to the best of that farmer's ability, should be marketed before they're produced.
Correct.
In other words, identify the market that you're trying to address, and you address the market.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is that farmers can perhaps do a little bit more to promote themselves. And I know of 1 or 2 farmers who use social media very efficiently, extremely efficiently.
It's working for them.
And it's working for them really
good.
well. Really well. So that's the second thought that comes to mind directly. The third thought is that if they engage our marketing division has also been helpful to farmers in connecting them with markets.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my 3 initial thoughts.
The $500,000 I'm supposed to get every year. I get that money, man, for marketing. That's mandated by law 20 years ago.
We got some of that funding.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, leave it at that.
Okay.
You're good, Kahlil. You're
All
good.
right.
Tell the world Neville James said Kahlil is good. Carla, good morning.
Good morning, Neville.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. I'd like to say good morning to Kahlil. I don't know the good lady's name, and I apologize for that. I didn't hear it when she was
Sarah
there.
Smith. Sarah Smith.
Ms. Smith, good morning to you as well.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
In your discussion about marketing, I have made various attempts to see if I could get our produce into places like Fruit Bowl and so forth. And the major obstacle is the insurance law, the liability, the coverage necessary for the vendor, Fruit Bowl or Plaza maybe, to have the coverage that the product that they're getting is exactly what they're getting and that they can stand behind it. It is prohibitive, the cost of it for a local farmer. I would wonder if Kahlil would entertain an umbrella insurance policy that any grower licensed could be under that umbrella and use their marketing funds to cover it. And then I think that the export market for cushions is right across the water, because in my mongering of fish, the biggest cry after that is what you bring from St. Croix, because I know how you're growing. And it's here. It just can't get in the store. We could match the price of avocados coming out of Santo Domingo, but we just need the insurance to be able to make whole the vendor. Is that something that would be possible, Kahlil?
Thank you for the call and the question. It is something that's of interest to me, something I'm willing to investigate. Possible, perhaps, yes, but we have to investigate. I am saying to you...
The umbrella insurance suggestion.
Yes, the umbrella insurance, yes. Okay. I'm saying to you, I'm interested enough to investigate that possibility and see where it takes us, the investigation takes us. I am interested in that.
Okay.
And I certainly believe the Marshall and Sterlings and the Guardians, the insurance companies, would look at it as a generous piece of business that benefits everybody. And it would reduce our food dependency and so forth.
And perhaps,
I do have one more question. Go ahead.
I was about to say, perhaps we can start with those insurance companies that have come on board recently with us. As you probably know, for the past 3 or 4 years, we couldn't issue new leases because no companies would insure. But 3 or 4 companies have come on board within the last 9 months or so, and perhaps they may be interested in expanding those services, those products to us.
There is a reason you are the commissioner, and that's a good thing. I do have one more question. The senior population here is tremendous. And those of us who no longer have to report from 8 to 5 can find some joy in planting. Is there a particular crop, and how much space do we need to, again, be able to grow it in your own yard? As Neville spoke about, eating out of your own yard is the most gratifying thing in the world. So if you could give us some guidance to say, well, hey, listen, plant this orchard or this 90-day crop, what would it be that we would consume daily and be proud to grow ourselves on, let's say, a quarter-acre plot? Not using the whole quarter-acre, but whatever 10 by 10, whatever it might be, that would be able to satisfy your needs for that particular food item.
Excellent question, Jimmy. Thank you very much for taking it from me.
Yes.
You're good.
My number one recommendation, caller, is leafy greens.
Mm-hmm.
My number one recommendation is leafy greens. They grow very quickly within a 30-day period.
Mm-hmm.
They're easy to grow. They're something that we consume daily. In some cases, you can have multiple harvests. So definitely speaking...
And you can have multiple kinds.
Multiple kinds as well. Kale is high in nutrition, lettuce. But my definite recommendation to start with, at least, would be leafy greens.
No, tomato don't grow well here too as well?
Ooh, you're asking if you're asking me for to weigh in on that. I am a black thumb certified.
Tomatoes grow well here. I would say.
Let me take that question. Which crops grow well in this tropical location that we are right now?
We have such a beautiful, wide range of.
Like remember that banana trees, that master, that fig tree.
With our year-round growing season,
yeah,
we are fortunate that we can grow so many different crops. It's a matter of what's perhaps your location, your time to decide which of those many beautiful crops. But the leafy greens are a given. You asked about tomatoes. Tomatoes are easy to grow as well. I would say to anyone thinking of growing tomatoes, just be very, very mindful and selective about the variety that you choose.
Okay.
Not all varieties are very easy to grow in the territory for many reasons. High temperature reasons, soil, organism issues. The variety is key in selecting your cucumber, actually, and your tomato plantings.
So I had some I had a sandwich from Subway yesterday. The best part of my sandwich was the cucumber them yesterday.
But they do local cucumbers.
Yeah. What's your relationship with Good Food Coalition and all that stuff?
Excellent relationship.
Summer
Sibley, yes. Yeah. Excellent relationship on a individual basis, but also we are all members of the Farm and Food Council, which drives the implementation of the territorial agricultural.
How about we grow out of the rock?
Excellent relationship again. As a matter of fact, I was asked to meet with them again, and I told them wait until the fair finishes. We'll have one meeting.
Yeah, we got any smaller group in St. John. I got a soft spot for St. John.
So do I. We don't have a group per se in St. John. We have individual.
But they got some
farmers.
prime land over there from right here, you know. Certain parts of St. John. You know what I mean? They could do harvesting over there. It's just that it's only limited, you know what I'm saying?
It's limited. But we have some good producers on St. John as well. Not any groups per se. You know. And we support groups. We encourage organizations among farmers.
You feel good about agriculture in the territory? Right now, or we're still in the stride-making window?
We are alive as a sector. We just need to thrive.
I like that.
And the thriving has to do everything with the funding. There's no issue we've discussed here today that we are not aware of before we came here. There's no issue that we've discussed here today that's not a part of the territorial plan. But the territorial plan has to be funded, otherwise it's just a plan.
I had a conversation here. I was talking with somebody, and I think Summer was part of that. I said, agriculture, we don't need a 7-figure or 8-figure infusion. We need a 9-figure infusion right now. Yes. We need a good $100 million. And we were speculating if in fact one of these rich people who just love the Virgin Islands were to call you and say, Mr. Peterson, I'd like to meet with you. And my name is such and such, and you come down and say, I got a check here for $100 million for agriculture. All I want to know is, how would you prioritize spending and investment? What would that be?
Easy.
Wow.
One of those.
I like that one, no, man.
One of those many needs is infrastructure. Every industry in the territory, anywhere else, needs proper infrastructure for success. Agriculture is no different. We have lots of acreage on St. Thomas and St. Croix for agriculture, but the infrastructure is limited.
You need a certain type of infrastructure to deal with that terrain over there, in Bordeaux.
Yes, we do. We're speaking of the road access issues, the drainage issues, water storage and distribution issues. Infrastructure would be prime.
So what percentage of 100 million would you say, let's say, what, 50-60% just for infrastructure alone?
I would say 50%.
Okay.
Yes, I would. St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the other half would be, what would you do the other half?
Incentive programs for farmers.
Yeah.
Incentive programs for farmers. Training programs. Programs to encourage them to be more independent of the Department of Agriculture, as we've done before through the Farm and Food Council. Every farmer and fisherman who got funding through the council's program 2 years ago, each of them more successful, more efficient, and more independent. That's what we need.
You still leasing property to farmers and all that stuff, territory-wide?
Yes, we are. Okay,
good.
Okay.
Sarah, time running out, man. Say something.
Well, I'd just like to say I'm retired now, so
okay. So you got time, man. You got time.
That's a good thing. But what I will say is I still feel like there's a definite place for 4-H, which is the youth program that operates under the UVI Cooperative Extension Service as a land-grant institution, to really become that pipeline or pathway to the future as far as just generating or sparking that initial interest in our young people in agriculture. And I'm gonna add to Dr. Peterson. I was gonna say chastise him, but if we don't include
one second before you say it. When I spoke about farmers incentive programs, I'm speaking about existing farmers and I want new farmers or upcoming farmers. Got it?
Well, and even going back further, so in other words, we talked about the mandate to have agriculture in the classroom. Fund it and fund it liberally.
So resources is the biggest issue that agriculture facing right now.
And the other thing is, look at this. We have literally in the Virgin Islands right now, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I know on St. Croix there's only 2 bona fide agriculture teachers. 2.
You gotta work on that.
Okay. And now I know there's some challenges around that because we have a teacher shortage, so that what they're trying to do is fill the classroom slots first. But again, when we talk about incentives too, incentivize being an agriculture teacher, cross training, and doing those things, because again, that can touch so many things across curricula. Huge.
And for those who are listening, we don't want to send the wrong message that nothing is happening. Things are happening. So let me explain what I mean by that. As we speak, we have some funding through the governor's office, ARPA funding. We are constructing 2 brand new cisterns in the state Bordeaux as a part of improving infrastructure for farmers, each of which will hold 100,800 gallons of water when finished. Okay. We also have an agreement with USDA's NRCS program, again in Bordeaux because there's so many needs. At the end of this project, we're going to have improved roads in Bordeaux, improved water storage because they're going to excavate the ponds and so we have a big project happening in there. So a lot is happening.
I want to say something. I want to give some comments from listeners. Harry Freeman said, I grow chivel, okra, lettuce, and tomatoes in my small yard.
Good choices.
You know what I'm saying?
Good choices.
Yeah, and then Rufus Turnbull said, and I know you're going to like this one. He said, 4th grade at James Madison Elementary School. I don't know the current name, but that's the school on Weymouth Highway.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Road
yes.
onto Price Smart. We had a farm behind the school. I remember planting corn and pigeon peas. That experience caused me to replicate it at home in Bovoni in the mid-70s. All right. And I said, Mr. Grant is right. He said, all the mangoes we have here, I stopped buying mangoes in the supermarket for the simple reason that they don't taste as good as those grown locally. So
I'll agree with that.
So it's a real-time agriculture field that we're dealing with. So tomorrow, got time running out. Gates open at 9, opening ceremonies at 10.
That's correct.
And then whenever it's done, from that point until 6 o'clock Monday.
Yes.
Reopening Sunday and Monday morning at 9.
That's correct.
The agriculture, the Virgin Islands State Fair is there for the people of the Virgin Islands to enjoy themselves.
That's correct.
Right? $8 for adults, $6 for seniors, $5 for children, 12 and under.
That's correct as well.
And Neville, if I may add, this afternoon, although the fair is not officially opened. Youth activities are officially underway.
We spoke about that this week.
Yep.
Because back in the day, it used to be a Friday event for the children. So go down there as well.
Right, but we have all of our educational exhibits all setting up. We're doing our judging this afternoon.
That's what I'm talking about.
So big things are happening there.
A new feature at the fair is the local vendors plaza.
Okay, I will
a
get
tent
it.
whereby you will find only locally made and produced items.
Good to see you, Kahlil.
Likewise.
Congrats on the agriculture and technology mix
in 2026.
In 2026. Thank you, Sarah.
Alrighty, no
enjoy
problem.
the weekend. Enjoy the long
Thank you.
weekend.
All
Be
right.
back on Tuesday, okay? Be good and be safe.
All right, thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.